We are watching two different kinds of societal death unfold in real time. On one side, South Korea is experiencing a demographic freefall, with a fertility rate dropping to 0.6. On the other, we see the violent shattering of historical hierarchies through sudden revolutions. These systemic failures emerge from rational decisions made under impossible environmental constraints. These collapses are the mathematical result of hyper-rational individuals playing a specific, localized game with the hands they have been dealt. Game theory provides the analytical engine to map these societal behaviors. Every game has three components. You have the players participating, you have the rules, the boundary conditions that limit what is possible, and you have the incentives, the reward for winning. By accurately mapping these three variables, the chaos of human history becomes predictable. We can calculate the exact life cycle and inevitable death of any civilization. Individual behavior is governed by the superstructure, the macro environment of demographics, wealth, technology, and competition that dictates the rational incentives for every player. In a historical superstructure defined by extreme poverty and high infant mortality, the primary incentive is biological survival. Under these constraints, the optimal strategy is to maintain intense communal ties and maximize reproduction. Players produce as many children as possible because the probability of any single child reaching maturity is low. In the modern era, high wealth and high technology have largely eliminated the threat of infant mortality. This shift in the superstructure has replaced the survival incentive with a new objective: status. Players now redirect their energy from genetic survival into status accumulation, the acquisition of wealth, social standing, and influence. Human behavior has changed because the superstructure's incentives have flipped. Consider a mating matrix with 5 men and 5 women, ranked 1 to 5 based on resources and attractiveness. In a stable population, we reach a Nash equilibrium. This is a state where no player can gain an advantage by changing their strategy alone. Tier 5s pair with Tier 5s, and 1s with 1s, resulting in perfect population replacement. The modern dating market breaks this equilibrium by treating status as a zero-sum incentive. In this model, the lower tiers lose all perceived value. The horizontal lines snap as all competition redirects toward the top. Because raising children requires a massive investment of time and status, players refuse to settle for lower-tier partners. This forces lower-tier players out of the game entirely, concentrating all reproductive effort at the peak. Modern high-status, high-resource figures like Elon Musk become the primary targets of this concentrated reproductive attention. When social mobility is low, players logically choose to either marry up or refuse to have children at all to protect their current status. This chart maps global GDP per capita against the fertility rate. The horizontal line at 2.1 marks the replacement threshold, the average number of children each woman must have to keep a population stable. South Korea has reached the terminal state of the status game, with a fertility rate plummeting towards 0.6. Current projections suggest South Korea will become a zombie society. Within decades, their working population will halve, leaving a massive retiree class to paralyze the economy. Israel is the data plot's primary outlier, maintaining high per capita wealth alongside a high fertility rate. Israel's deviation from the wealth-fertility model is a direct result of its unique superstructure. Existential threats and religious frameworks in Israel link procreation directly to high status. In this environment, having many children is perceived as an act of patriotism and social survival. Demographic collapse is the mathematically rational outcome for any wealthy society that makes zero-sum status its only winning condition. This same status game dictates class behavior. We need to look at why individuals succeed or fail when playing under the same macro rules. The famous marshmallow test offers a child 1 treat now or 2 if they can wait 15 minutes. For decades, researchers claimed this measured an inherent trait of delayed gratification required for success. The experiment actually measures a child's internal probability model regarding the reliability of authority. A child in a volatile, impoverished environment recognizes that promises are rarely kept. For them, the rational move is to eat the marshmallow immediately. In contrast, a rich child lives with high systemic stability. For them, waiting for the second marshmallow is a mathematically safe bet because the authority figures in their lives are reliable. These rational adaptations become the foundation for opposing class-based parenting strategies. Poor parenting optimizes for survival. Parents use authoritarian commands to teach absolute obedience. They prepare their children for interactions with hostile authorities, where questioning authority leads to punishment. Rich parenting optimizes for maximum outcome. Parents teach negotiation and debate, encouraging the questioning of authority. This prepares their children to navigate and secure top positions in competitive hierarchies. Celebrated traits like growth mindset and resilience are downstream artifacts. They are the behaviors players adopt when their environment offers high stability. The rich class's game has a built-in failure state. Power and high-status positions are strictly zero-sum. To protect their status, the wealthy systematically rig the rules so their children inherit top positions, effectively ending social mobility. This leads to elite overproduction. The system generates too many highly educated, ambitious players for too few available power slots, creating visible fractures in the social structure. These shut-out elites eventually fracture from the ruling class to find leverage. They find it at the base of the pyramid, where the poor are locked in systemic debt and landlessness due to the mathematical certainty of compound interest. The splintered elites promise debt cancellation and land redistribution to weaponize the masses against the current hierarchy. Julius Caesar utilized this exact mechanic to secure power in Rome. As a frustrated member of the elite, Caesar gained ultimate control by promising to erase the debts of the Roman plebeians. Modern history shows the same pattern of educated elites leading peasant uprisings. Mao Zedong was an aspirational elite blocked from the traditional ladder of success. He gained control by promising land to the impoverished masses. Modern populists like Donald Trump utilize this same structural promise of a status reset for a frustrated base. Revolutions function as a strategic game reset initiated by the frustrated middle elite. Demographic collapse and violent revolution are two different manifestations of the same systemic breakdown. Both occur as a game reset, triggered when rational actors realize they can no longer advance by playing within the established rules. The ruins of the Roman Forum are the physical artifact of a system that failed to reset its game in time. Every civilization follows this life cycle. They are born in high social mobility, mature into rigid hierarchies, and eventually collapse under the weight of zero-sum competition. History is a mechanical, predictable life cycle, driven entirely by the mathematical rules of the superstructure.